This is the Good Ride review of the Rossi Sashimi. We rode this with Stratas, Atlas, and Falcors, all from Union, and our trusty Adidas tactical ADVs. And a quick summary of the Sashimi is it takes a little bit of the sushi, a little bit of the XV, and just kind of puts it all into that kind of like board that can work for a wide variety of riders and a pretty wide variety of ability levels, all into one little thing. And if you're thinking about the XV or you're thinking about the sushi and you like a little bit of each, you'd probably be better off with the Sashimi. When we're talking about like flex, pop, you know, you were just saying how we were just flexing before this. And one cool thing about this, like, you know, this board, you can butter off the tail super easy. You could even butter off the nose if you want. And it's got a very interesting core. And I brought my little flashlight here so you can kind of see, you know, what's going on there. They've got like throughout the board these little like glowing spots, and it's just basically like a dampening material in between the core that keeps the board not too stiff but not too soft either, and really absorbs chatter and, you know, doesn't make it the chatteriest of boards. Because Rossi sometimes has a little bit of a dead feel to it sometimes. It just doesn't feel like it's got a lot of pop, and it doesn't feel like it's got a lot of dampening. And this kind of like helps a little bit with both. But they're doing a lot of cool shit with this board, and you know, I like the overall flex. When it comes to the camber profile, check the On the Table review, but you can see the little, you know, camber zone,
yeah.
Yeah.
Rocker zone.
And it really goes down almost to the tail. And then, but this is all rocker. And it comes up to a much wider nose than tail. And so it's got that kind of feeling where it definitely is a surfy ride, and it feels like it can do a lot with a lot of different riders. But the overall thing is it's not too catchy. You know, an intermediate rider could have a good time on this and learn kind of like more of a directional ride, where definitely, you know, where like you compare it to some other like super camber boards that might be like cambered to just like maybe an inch before the nose. It's just less catchy, it's less technical, and it appeals to a wide variety of riders. Like you can kind of go like this, you can bring it all the way up like this, and however you want to like weight yourself on this board, it works pretty well. It likes a little back foot heavy riding, but it can also kind of get a little more, you know, if you set your stance up this way, you can get a little more turny that way too, and it's fine. The edge hold, I felt like it gripped well. It's no XV, but it's right there with the sushi. The Sashimi can just, you know, hold a good edge in some medium hard snow and be competent. And then when it comes to turn initiation, I would say, yeah, this thing is fun. It's pretty fast. It's like medium fast. You know, it's not super fast, but it's always where you want it to be when you want it. I had no problems in the trees. It was always there. And as long as everything's set up correctly and you're doing things right, this is a quick tree board. Yeah, the sushi's a little faster, but the sushi gets more bucky if you get off your game in the trees.
Right. This
is a little slower than the sushi and a little longer, but it's no XV either, so it's like a fun tree. I actually preferred this in the trees more than the sushi, which is really weird because I just felt like you can't always pick the perfect tree line, right?
Right.
And if you did that on the Sushi, it's more fun, it's faster. But if you get off your game a little bit, this has a little more length, and I felt like I got back on my game faster. Like if you get off your game in the Sushi, it just feels like you're kind of stopped and you're stuck.
Difficult to correct yourself.
Yeah, and it's difficult to pick up the speed again and get your flow back. Where this, I just felt like I kind of just was staying in my game the whole way down, even if I fucked up here and there, wrong turn. And I could just kind of turn away from that, come to almost a complete stop, turn away from that and start accelerating again faster than I could on the Sushi. And that's what I liked about that. When it comes to like turning and carving, did you get any groomers on this? Or?
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Like at the bottom of Leeway, yeah, it was great.
Oh yeah,
like that was a good groomer day. Yeah, it was. This board's
all
great
the
on
days
groomers.
are blending into one.
Yeah, this is a great carving board. I thought that was actually my personal favorite aspect of this board was, the carving.
Speed. The one thing I got the base dry, just like super dry, and then I waxed it kind of half-assed. And took it out. It was much better than the first time on the dry. And then I took it back one more time and waxed it. And then it started to kind of act like a normal base. But I got it super dry, so it's hard to really say. Like, sometimes that can pull from your experience in the way that you don't want it to. I would say that with a couple good waxes, this will be good, but it's not a super fast base for this price point. I think there were other boards that had better glide, but in terms of dampness and like bombing, it can bomb pretty well.
Yeah, it felt stable. Speed.
Yeah,
it was fine.
I don't have problems with that. And
most Rossi boards are like that. They're stable at speed. That's kind of their thing.
Dude, that XV. Whew. Switch, nah. Powder, this thing floats pretty well. I've had a couple powder days on this now.
I got no powder, but considering the amount of rocker, I would assume it'd be really good. Yeah.
And I could slash a pipe wall with this. It's okay hitting a kicker despite how little tail. There's some length here, but there's not a lot of volume for the landing.
Yeah.
It's okay, but I'd probably rather launch off a cliff on the XV.
Yeah, definitely.
Just need some new hips.
Yeah.
First. What'd you think?
Love the edge hold. We had it pretty set back when I rode it.
Yeah, we had it set all the way back that day.
Yeah, I like that. You could throw the tail out at the same time. You have no tail, minimal tail area, and it's really easy to throw out and still maintain the edge hold. So it's a super fun board.
Yeah, slashy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, like you were saying, more user friendly. Great for an intermediate rider who wants to dabble in the directional world. I did feel like the board felt damp. I liked it. Yeah,
that light frame.
Yeah, I prefer that.
Yeah.
So. Rossignol is known for having some really quality construction. So.
Yeah, they've always put out a good board. And then what's so funny is when I tried the Sushi, what I loved about it the most was taking it out on groomers.
Yeah.
When I finally got it in some deep powder, I was like, oh, I liked it better on groomers. This I like way better on groomers than the Sushi. I thought just that extra length. The Sushi's so fun, it's so unique, but it feels more quiver.
Right.
This felt like I could go out and carve groomers all day on this, but when the powder comes, I can ride powder too.
So this could be maybe a better one-board solution for the rider.
Yeah, it's a better daily driver. But the sashimi's fun, and it's at the the sushi's fun, and it's at the price point that works for a lot of people. To build a quiver. This is a little more expensive. The price point's a lot higher. I think it's in the upper fives, and that's tough. But if, like I said before, if you're in between the XV and the the sushi, the sashimi might be the right call.
Yeah.
Because it is a good daily driver.